Hi everyone, this is Anna. I'm back. I had to restart Thinkorswim to bring back up the silver chart. As you can see, the Fibonacci support and resistance levels have been drawn. Now, at first glance, and I should have seen this, but we all do miss things from time to time, there is a head and shoulder pattern on silver. No, that's why I was short. Okay, that's why I was short. Sorry. See, there was a head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder. So, in my experience, most of the time, that resolves to the downside. If it was an inverse head and shoulder, it would have resolved to the upside. As well as there was a bear flag on silver. Okay? Now, you can obviously see on the 60-minute where that did not work out. But I did all my technical analysis. Everything looked good. The oscillator was coming down. Okay, the oscillator was losing steam here because you can line it up here. Here's the bear flag. This is when I went in last week. I guess that would be around the 14th. Let's just say 14th because I think it was last Sunday I posted about it. And you had the bear flag. Okay, had the bear flag. Ooh, like that. And you had a histogram that is now going down right here. You can see it going down right here. Let me go on my trend line. Oh, I'm not going to do that because, okay. And your stochastics were pointing down. So everything screamed to me to short silver. However, as I mentioned in the previous video, everything, you can get all the information and do all the technical analysis that you can. The charts are a lagging indicator. They can only give you a screenshot of the past and possibly of the future. Okay, they cannot that is not a guarantee that a chart is going to definitely work. So you can see that if according to this and this sloping divergence, the stochastics pointing down, the head and shoulder, the bear flag, it was, a conclusion by me and others that silver was a good short, and we were wrong. Okay, I am still in it at this moment. Oh, also the 10 crossed the 30 on the moving averages. Now I'm still in it, but I've reduced my exposure by 2/3. Okay, I'm still not convinced that it wasn't a head fake because you still have this sloping divergence here. This thing, the stochastics, when the slow period crosses that moving average, that's usually a signal to go short on the downside and opposite on the upside. So I did all my homework. I did everything. It wasn't just something I just picked out of my hat. And I got head faked. So that's the case. Now, here's the support. Here's your support level on silver. And here's your resistance up here, the purple line. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So, and these are your pivots right here. These are your pivots. So we'll see how silver plays out this coming week. Because of the turmoil in the Middle East, could be the reason. Now it appears like there's an inverse head and shoulder that has formed. This is the 15th and a bull flag. But your histogram is in the negative zone, but your stochastics are pointing up. So thus, I kept a couple of them on, a few of them on. Excuse me, strawberries. And I'll see what happens Monday or Tuesday. If nothing happens Monday or Tuesday and for my direction, I will bail out of the rest of those positions. So I don't trade off of news like the Middle East turmoil, blah blah blah. Go long gold, go silver. I do my charts and my technical analysis. It told me with this bear flag back here, okay, that it was a good short, and it should have come down and retested this 32, and it did. It did come down and test that 32. So I'm trying to, okay, this is the 15, that's why I'm having a problem. So when I saw this bear flag, I was pretty convinced that in the 10 crossed the 30 that we were going to have a more sustained sell-off in silver. However, that was not the case. All right, let's take a look at, the SPY, because everybody likes the SPY. Now, on the 15 again, you see an inverted head and shoulders. So that could mean that we actually are due for some more upside. However, Your oscillator is not confirming that. It is not confirming that. And you could argue there's a little head and shoulder at the end. You could, you can make a case for just about anything. But the time frames are all showing different things. But as of right now, on the 15, it looks like an inverted head and shoulder, which does not mean that it's absolutely. It's right now we're just hugging this pivot level around 127. That's a pivot level. That's that pink level. See how it just keeps clinging to that hot pink line here. And what we had on the last two sessions, Thursday and Friday, we closed lower than when we gapped open, which is not a good sign for the market. Usually that's not a very healthy sign. You saw the 10 cross the 30 here on the 15. That's when you had your down, and now we're going sideways. So you got a little bit of a bear flag, possibly a little head and shoulder on this shorter time frame. So we'll see what happens at the open Sunday night tonight, March 20th, 2011. Let's look at the 60. I didn't do a webinar. I'm supposed to do my taxes today, but I don't really feel like it. I got another 3 weeks. But I was thinking about doing another webinar next week, so we'll see if I get, see how it goes, see if I get the interest going. Okay. Now on the 60, it's looking pretty oversold down here on the 60, on the SPY. Okay, it looks pretty oversold, but that doesn't mean it can't bounce up and then just go right back down. According to the histogram, it's a sell zone on the 60. Again, you see your little inverted here at the end. You can make a case about anything, but there's definitely a trend. Appears to be a trend change, and I'm looking for this 10 now here, and I've superimposed it to cross this 30 for confirmation. I'm still short Apple, long crude, and short SPYs via some puts. I'm in a lot of cash though, I'll be honest with you, because things could just go either way, but I do like crude on the long side. So let's pull up crude. Speaking of, one of the trades I've been doing for a long time, been very successful at it, and you can ask my subscribers in the lounge. A couple of them were down big time because they traded without me on crude. Doesn't mean I'm always right, but they traded without me, and they got into a big hole, and we traded our way out of it. And so that's a great thing when you're down 600-700, couple grand, 40 grand in one case, and you're able to trade, not 40 grand, 4 grand, sorry, and you're able to trade your way back to plus by the end of the day. Because I said when that story came out about Gaddafi, he was going to go to a ceasefire Friday morning right before the markets opened. Well, was that planned or what? Come on. And has this man what indication do we have that he's even thinking about a ceasefire? He's going to go to the bitter end. And I have a feeling he's going to pull out some nasty little tricks in his arsenal. Whether he does, I don't know what it will be, but I know that the terrorist chatter is on, it's out there. He's trying to do a lot. He wants to make the West pay. That was his words. So here on crude on the 60-minute, it appears that we had that down move on Friday, okay? And I went ahead and added longs. I had 2 successful trades on Friday. The room had 2 successful trades as well. And at the end of the day, I'm still long. Now, I could be wrong. We came to this support level here, and we did not break it, as well as there's bullish divergence going on here right now. So you're going to see, that's a line I drew, obviously. Okay. You can see the slow period is crossing over this moving average on the way up. So right now, I'm very bullish on crude. In the intermediate term does not mean that it cannot, I'm going to be wrong. It can't go down, just like with silver. I'm watching this 10-day to make sure it doesn't cross. Well, it did cross. It did cross the 10 did cross the 30, but we didn't get that down move. Now that can change You have to take everything, all the information you have, and make the best decision you can. That's all you can do with trading. And there's a lot of trades I pass on. A lot of trades I pass on because they don't line up. Actually, with short Aflac and in and out of that as well, that being one of the biggest insurers in Japan, I'm sure they're gonna, the chart shows that they're, in a bearish mode. And I still have a little bit of that on, but I have taken big profits as it hit some levels that were support levels. All right, let's look at the crude on a daily chart. And again, we have a bullish looking chart. You have bullish diversions, okay, on the histogram starting to go up. Stochastic showing that it wants to go higher, and you have a bull flag. Now, keeps banging its head on around this area here, okay? But again, we closed right below it. Did we close right below it? Where was our last candle? Right here? Yeah. Okay, now that's the resistance level around 101. See, it's amazing how these support and resistance levels work. I mean, they either come up and bang their head on it, or if it gaps through there tonight, we could see 104 in a short amount of time. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Could be wrong again, but we'll see how that trade works out. So I'll keep you abreast on everything. If you're interested in more webinars on options, on technical analysis, and or Thinkorswim platform, please send me an email at info@hotoptionbabe.com. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to go with these webinars, because I'm on there a full hour or more, and it seems like a lot of people are really enjoying them, and I enjoy doing them. They're a lot of fun for me, and they also reinforce my own technical analysis and or options training that I've had, and what to do and what not to do. So it's good to reinforce rules that you have, because you have to have rules with options. You have to have entries and exit rules. You have to have you have to know your Greeks, and you have to know your you have to know your Greeks. You have to know first the direction, then you have to know the Greeks, and then you have to make sure you're going to be successful as you can on the trade. Not how much you're going to make, but how successful can you be. So I'm wishing you all a very good week. I hope that if you're interested in joining the lounge, you just shoot me an email, and we do really well in there. So I've got some members that have been in there for a long time, ever since I started, some original members. So let's make some money. We had a great week last week, and hopefully we'll have another good week this week. So take care, and hope to see you. Please feel free to comment. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to agree with me. That's not about that. I just ask everybody to be respectful to each other, and let's make it a fun trading environment. Thanks, and have a great week.